Lahat ng drama, tawanan, balita at all-time favorite music hits. Sa lungkot at ligaya, kami pa rin ang inyong kasama. We're the place where you truly belong. Mula sa TVH Group of Networks, ito ang inyong himpilan. Ito ang inyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila. Live from Cool Studios, this is koolNews at noon.
Good afternoon, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This is koolNews at noon. I'm Cairo, and we are live on Cool FM and News Radio 93.1, where we share the news headlines that care for you. Let's begin with our headlines for this afternoon. The Philippines did not make any commitment to China that it will remove the United States Typhoon mid-range missile system in the country, the National Security Council said on Friday. NSC spokesperson Jonathan Malayas made the remarks after Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Guo Liakun claimed that Manila made such a promise to Beijing. The Philippines never promised the People's Republic of China that we will withdraw the Typhoon missile system, Malayas said in a regular press conference of the West Philippine Sea Task Force. We never made any commitment to PRC with this regard, he added. In the regular briefing on Wednesday, Guo said the Philippines has explained itself multiple times regarding the introduction of the Typhoon system, pledging that the deployment was temporary and that the system will be shipped out of the country after relevant military exercises. However, it has breached such commitments, claiming it would acquire its own mid-range system and field these deterrent capabilities and linking the South China Sea issue with the Typhoon system, he added. The Typhoon missile arrived in the country from the United States on April 11, 2024 and was first used during the Baliktaan exercises and has stayed in the country since. The Philippines is looking to expand its funding sources for the military's modernization program as Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief General Romel Browner Jr. admitted that the budget of the national government was not enough to fund the country's defense capability upgrades. President Marcos may issue an executive order that would allow for commercial funding for Armed Forces modernization, Browner told reporters on the sidelines of the Management Association of the Philippines Forum in Taguig City on Wednesday. So we are looking into local and foreign financing. That is why we're getting in touch with the Bankers Association of the Philippines. They said they can fund it. And then we're looking also at the foreign financing. In fact, we have had some offers already, Browner added. He said the military needed funds to achieve the objectives set for Horizon 3, the last stage of the AFP modernization program that is expected to cost about 2 trillion pesos. Browner said some offers had been made and the AFP was studying the legality of resorting to commercial foreign financing. We don't have a law that enables us to do that, so we are looking at getting an executive order from the president, Browner said. Defense Secretary Gilberto Delgado Jr. said last year that existing laws limit external loans for defense administration to just $300 million in total. In a speech before the members of the MEP in July last year, Teodoro also sought the help of business leaders in crafting creative financing solutions to ease the financial burden on the government of the military's modernization program. We need to find off-budget, non-traditional financing sources for modernization, Teodoro said. In his speech to the MEP, Browner said the Philippines was looking at acquiring more anti-ship missile systems and submarines to upgrade the military's defense capability amid growing tensions in the South China Sea. It is a dream for us to get at least 2 submarines, Browner said. We are an archipelago, and so we have to have this type of capability because it is really difficult to defend the entire archipelago without submarines. He also said that the military would be getting more anti-ship missile systems this year after the first batch of BrahMos cruise missiles from India arrived in the Philippines in April last year. India expects to sell short-range missiles to the Philippines this year in the deal worth more than $200 million, according to the Reuters news agency, quoting unidentified Indian sources. It will be New Delhi's second major defense export contract with Manila as tension grows with China. The Akash missile system developed by India's defense research body has drawn interest from the Philippines, which has told New Delhi that it would make an order in fiscal year that begins in April, three sources said. Although sources spoke on condition of anonymity as the matter is a sensitive one. The surface-to-air missile system with a range up to 25 kilometers was exported to Armenia last year in the $230 million deal, the sources said, adding that the Philippines deal is expected to be bigger than the Armenian deal. However, they did not reveal the number of missiles and accompanying systems, including radars involved. India's Bharat Dynamics Ltd, the manufacturer of the missiles, was one of the exhibitors at last year's Asian Defense and Security Exhibition in Manila. The company and India's Defense Ministry did not immediately respond to requests for comment. A Philippine defense spokesperson, Arsenio Antolong, declined to comment on the specifics of any deal or on procurement plans, but said the country's armed forces had manifested it requires these capabilities. The expected deal will follow India's $375 million sale of the mid-range BrahMos supersonic cruise missile to the Philippines. We are getting more of this BrahMos system this year and in the coming years, Brother told the member form, but did not mention the Akash system. Manila is also expecting the delivery of 2 more corvette vessels from South Korea this year, he said. Under the 2025 national budget, the AFP received 35 billion pesos this year for its revised modernization program. The amount is lower by 50 billion pesos than the record high 50 billion pesos initially proposed by President Marcos to Congress. Last year, the revised AFP modernization program got an allocation of 40 billion pesos. And several Americans with records of convictions as sex offenders in the country have been barred from entering the country last month, the Bureau of Immigration reported Thursday. In a statement, Commissioner Joel Antonio Viado said 5 of the passengers were excluded at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, while 1 was intercepted at the Mactan Airport in Cebu. They were denied entry by our immigration officers upon discovering that they are among the thousands of registered sex offenders who are in our database, Viado said. He said the move is in line with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s commitment to protecting children and ensuring that foreign criminals, especially those with a history of sexual offenses, are prevented from entering the Philippines. He added that the foreigners were excluded under a provision in the country's Immigration Act that prohibits the entry of foreigners who have been convicted of crimes involving moral turpitude. According to BI Border Control and Intelligence Unit Chief Ferdinand Denila, all of them were sent back to their ports of origin a day after they were intercepted. Intercepted last January 6 was Rodrigo Navarro, age of 30, who was convicted in 2014 for possession and control of obscene materials depicting a minor in sexual conduct. Wayne Mitchell Berkeley, age of 56, was denied entry on January 14. He was convicted in the U.S. in 2002 for sexual molestation, wherein the victim was only 15 years old. On the other hand, Raymond Campado Falgura, age of 33, was excluded on January 14 after it turned out that a court martial convicted him in 2014 for sexually abusing a minor. On January 15, Robert William Harper, age of 69, was turned back due to his conviction for criminal sexual conduct in Wisconsin in 1999. Intercepted at the Mactan Cebu Airport last January 18 was David Scott Dennis, age of 60, who was convicted in 2000 for 5 counts of child molestation in the first degree, where the victim was only 6 years old. On the same date, Joseph Jerome Dumas, age of 71, was turned away at the NAIA after the BI was informed that he was convicted in 2018 for possessing sexually abusive material involving children. The BI emphasized that these exclusions are part of its Shield Kids program, initiative designed to safeguard Filipino children from exploitation and abuse by foreign predators. Under the program, the BI works closely with local and international law enforcement agencies to monitor and prevent the entry of convicted sex offenders and other individuals who pose a threat to child safety. This is koolNews at noon. It is now 12:10 p.m. and we will return with more news headlines right here after the break.
Welcome to the cafe. How can I assist you today, Master?
Vanilla latte and strawberry donuts, please.
Anything else you like? Master?
I'm sorry. I was reading this dedicated magazine page. All of there's random technology in the world and into usual pop culture, you know?
Yes, Master. All of these are available here in the cafe. In the meantime, would you like to listen to our owner's podcast?
Hey everyone, good evening and welcome to my cafe. Good day to everyone. How is your evening so far?
This is Ashley's Cafe, Mondays to Thursdays, 6:30 p.m. and Fridays, 9:30 p.m. Only here on Cool FM.
Welcome sa Cebuan Amazing World! Dito, all-in ang microfinancial services. OFWs, sakay na! May loan pampagawa ng bahay, pang-brand yung motor, o bagong business. Cebuan Amazing! Swak ang microsaving dito. Laging ready with microinsurance. May money transfer, may cash in, cash out, remit to bank, at bills payment. Cebuan Amazing! Pwede rin mag-invest sa gold. May rewards pa! San man sa Pilipinas, basta microfinancial services, all-in dito. Kaya Cebuan Amazing ang life!
Microsavings is a product of Cebuana Lumiere Rural Bank. Deposits are insured by PDIC up to 500,000 pesos per depositor. Supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Pre, makinig ka muna. Payong kaibigan lang ha. Work hard, play hard. Yan ang motto ko dati. Pero nakakapagod din pala katagalan sa gitna ng lahat ng puyat, inom at pagkain ng masasarap. Kasama na ang oily and fatty foods, kailangan pa rin bantayan ang kalusugan. Tamang kontrol ang kailangan. Katuwang ko ang Liverade. Si Limerine supplement na best with proper diet and exercise. Cheers to more good times. Salamat sa Liverade. Mabibili ang Liverade sa mga leading drugstores nationwide. Mahalagang paalala, ang Liverade ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin paggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Nakaayog yun sa imong katarapa ang iBerry. Ato paminahon sa testimonya sa naayo sa iBerry.
Ako si Dorothy, store attendant sa Carmen. Nakasulay na ko aning iBerry mga isa ka buwan. Kay gusto ko mawala ang akong katarata. Puwerte ra ba pamula sa akong mata? Og di gyud ko kaklaro inigbasa. Mahal pud ang pagpa-opera. Pero nagpasalamat gyud ko sa iBerry. Kay nakatabang sa ako mata. Unya permanente ko na ni ginatumar kay may alibyo. Daghan salamat sa iBerry.
iBerry mapalit sa Mercury, Rose Pharmacy o sa inyong mga suking butika.
Nawawala ang stress kapag refreshing breaks halika na. I can't wait to be with you. San Miguel flavored beer na to. Apple lemon lychee, refreshing di sweet ang gusto ko. Apple lemon lychee, San Miguel flavored beer na to.
Enjoy the refreshing sweet flavors of San Miguel flavored beer, apple, lemon, and lychee with just the right beer buzz.
San Miguel flavored beer na to. Life refreshingly sweet with San Miguel flavored beer.
Drink responsibly.
Mr. Lamok, di mo ba alam na trespassing ka na dito? Ganun ba? Sige, ganito. Bibilangan kita.
Zero tolerance sa mga insekto. Yan ang Bygone Shield Protector Multi-Insect Killer. Kills 11 types of bugs.
At ayokong makita ang mga kaibigan mo dito.
Against 11 types of bugs, choose Bygone Shield Protector Multi-Insect Killer.
Sa laban ng buhay, talo ang mahihina. Bangon kaibigan, ituloy ang laban. Start your day with PDA Capsule. Panlaban sa panghihina, panlaban sa sakit. Kaya ibalik ang sigla. Ugali mag-PDA Capsule. Araw-araw. PDA. Protection. Defense against diseases and viruses.
Asan ang polo ko? Ma, ready na ang baon ko?
Ang trabaho ng isang nanay ay hindi madali. Halos araw-araw na lang masakit ang braso at likod sa maraming gawain. Kaya, kung meron akong nararamdamang sakit sa katawan, kinagamitan ko kaagad ng Omega Painkiller. Sa kapisong laki, madarama agad ang lamig-init sensation na nakakatulong sa pag-alis ng sakit ng katawan. Omega Painkiller, kasangga sa pagtanggal ng aray.
Bye ma, alis na kami. Methyl salicylate plus camphor plus menthol is the generic name of Omega Painkiller. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Mancha, mancha, mancha ang daming labada.
Sa unang babad pa lang, si Breeze nagtatanggal.
Based on lab test mud and polyester, results may vary.
Mancha, Breeze 3 washes back ka na.
Kahit 3 times dami ng laba, Breeze 3 washes pack. Refers up to 3 wash loads, up to 18 to 20 pieces per wash. Breeze!
1 little, 2 little, 3 na insekto, 4 little, 5 little, 6 na insekto, 7 little, 8.
Para bang laro-laro lang ang ginagawa ng insect killer mo? Ang Bygone Shield Protector Multi-Insect Killer, seryoso. Dahil zero tolerance ito, hindi lang sa 8, kundi sa
11 types ng bugs!
Bygone Shield Protector Multi-Insect Killer. Zero tolerance sa mga insekto. Kills 11 types of bugs.
Ang new Biogesic for Kids, di na kailangan i-shake. Syrup formula na. Para pag may lagnat ang anak, buhat agad, inom agad. New Biogesic for Kids. Mas pinagaling, magpagaling versus previous formulation.
Unilab yan.
Paracetamol is the generic name of Biogesic. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
kayang tuparin. Everyone achieve the way to comfort living. Adesa, Adesa, installment made easy, achieve mo na. Adesa, Adesa, kaya, 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 kaya. Adesa, Adesa, Adesa.
Cool FM.
Welcome back to koolNews at noon. Former President Rodrigo Duterte on Thursday rallied support for candidates of the Partido Demokratiko Pilipino Lakas ng Bayan while taking a swipe at President Marcos, whom he again accused of being a drug addict. There is one person who is really into drugs, not really crazy, but drug addiction is long-term, he said in a speech at the Paris Pro-Combination rally at the historic Club Filipino in San Juan City. Marcos will be crazy, he said to applause and laughter from the crowd who packed the same hall where Corazon Aquino took her out after the president's father and namesake was ousted by the EDSA People Power Revolution 39 years earlier. Maybe he could reach the age of 80, but by that time, he is no longer moving. Either he is standing in his room or sleeping, Duterte said. He was accompanied by his son, Davao City Mayor Sebastian Bacastet Duterte, who accused the Marcos administration of pulling the Filipino people back into an abusive regime, a reference to the Marcos dictatorship. More than 4 decades ago, the PDP was formed and stood firm against the oppressive regime of Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Today, the lives and future of Filipinos are once again being put at risk, the Davao mayor said before his father spoke. As we strive toward a progressive future, the administration of Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is pulling us back into an abusive and oppressive government, he added. Speaking to reporters on the sidelines of the rally before the former president arrived, re-electionist Senator Randolph Plato de la Rosa said that he wasn't concerned whether his hands were tainted with blood as long as these came from bad people. The former national police chief who implemented the brutal drug war of the ex-president that left thousands of mostly poor people dead was reacting to Marcos' statement that no one among the administration's senatorial candidates in the main polls had blood on their hands. Speaking at the Alianza para sa Bongo Pilipinos Proclamation rally at the PAC Ilos Norte Central Arena last Tuesday, the president attacked Duterte and some of the PDP Laban candidates. Castus and Stone, De La Rosa said, I don't care if my hands are tainted with blood if we need to protect the lives of the people. Duterte and De La Rosa have been charged with crimes against humanity in the war on drugs at the International Criminal Court. Senator Christopher Bongo, another PDP Laban re-electionist, was linked to the drug war during inquiry in the House of Representatives. One of the urgent matters is that the incoming senators will have to tackle after the dictator states in July will be the trial of impeached Vice President Sara Duterte. The election of her supporters was one of the rallying cries of PDP Laban. Another party candidate, Lord TV Hilo, was not shy in saying that the Vice President will not be convicted if all the PDP Laban senatorial candidates win. VP Sara, we are your allies. Nothing will happen to you, he said. In a message flashed on the white screen during the proclamation rally, the Vice President called on Filipinos to vote for the entire PDP Laban senatorial slate. I believe that the power to change the course of our country is with the people by voting for the rightful people, honest and who are working hard for our country, she said. Former Bayan Muna Representative Neri Colmenares declared his fellow House candidates to publicly declare their position on the impeachment of the ex-president's daughter, knowing that accountability for public funds should be a crucial election issue. The people need to know which candidates are willing to call for accountability in the misuse of public funds and who are turning a blind eye to abuses of power, he said in a statement. Colmenares, who is eyeing a return to the White House after his last term in 2016, also urged the president to call for a special congressional session so that the Senate can immediately convene itself into the impeachment court after Senate President Francis G. Escudero said the trial would likely be held in July. It is unacceptable to prolong the impeachment trial any further, Colmenares said. He said the House prosecutors only needed to focus on the strongest ground, which he implied was the unauthorized use of confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education that can easily be proved using official documents from the Commission on Audit and the Department and Budget. Department of Budget and Management. De La Rosa's earlier said he intended to campaign Popular Dokang style, which was used by the police in Davao City, where officers went house to house with drug suspects, knock on their doors, and appeal to them to stop their involvement in drugs. It's really like Dokang, knocking at pleasure. He will knock on people's house. If they are smiling when they open the door, I will ask them just leave. Yeah. The senator was Duterte's first Philippine National Police Chief and the architect of his anti-drug campaign. De La Rosa also said he was willing to wage war in the West Philippine Sea to prove that he is not pro-China, also in response to another swipe from Mr. Marcos against alleged pro-Chinese candidates. I'll be frank with you. I'm willing to die in the West Philippine Sea if they say I am pro-China. I'm willing to wage war there in the West Philippine Sea, the senator said. Pro-China? I challenge them. If they want, I'll give them a gun and maybe we will attack the police in the West Philippine Sea, he said. The other candidates of PDP Laban are lawyer and singer Jimmy Mondok, lawyer Raul Lambino, former actor Philip Salvador, Representative Ron Dante Marcoleta, jail pastor Apol Kipuloy, and Vic Rodriguez, who had served briefly as Marcos' executive secretary and lawyer in his election protest against former Vice President Lenny Robredo. In his speech at the proclamation rally, Rodriguez promised to amend the anti-plunder law by reducing the threshold amount from 50 million pesos down to 1 million pesos to guard the annual budget and to bring back the death penalty to those who plunder our money. He also vowed to introduce a measure requiring all government officials to undergo a mandatory drug test without exemptions. We will begin this when Malacanan, Rodriguez said, eliciting applause and cheers from the audience. Rodriguez also questioned whether each of the more than 200 House members who supported the impeachment complaint against the Vice President could have read the entire document before signing it and passing it to the next in just 7 hours. And now, the Marcos administration is now even trying to steal the vice presidency. So that is why we have to understand one another. Let us protect the 32 million Filipinos who legally, constitutionally, lawfully, and democratically elected Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, Rodriguez said. Meanwhile, criminal groups claiming to have the technical expertise or inside access to security victory of candidates in the May elections are already going around and offering their services, according to the head of the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC. Candidates should be responsible enough not to deal with these people. Why are you transacting with them in the first place? Does that mean that you are actually believing the lies that they are peddling? COMELEC Chair George Garcia said. At the first instance that they try to offer their services, you should report them to the police and have them arrested, he told reporters during a press conference at Camp Crame on Tuesday. 3 such persons claiming to be information technology specialists and connected with the COMELEC were arrested by operatives of the Philippine National Police Criminal Investigation and Detection Group also on Tuesday. According to CIDG Director Brigadier General Nicholas Torre III, the suspects asked for 90 million pesos from Robert Duringan and his daughter Karin Calle, who are both running for mayor and vice mayor, respectively, in Cagayan province. The suspects offered their services to the family in the 2019 and 2022 elections, but the Duringans declined, Torres said in the same press conference. These people approached them again for the 2025 elections, telling them the reason they lost in the past 2 polls was because they were paid by their opponents to manipulate the results, Garcia said. So to be sure that they will win this time, they paid, but only a fraction of the 90 million pesos, he noted. According to Duringan, who was also at the press conference, he gave the suspects 2 million pesos as paid. 5 suspects were later arrested in the entrapment operation at the shopping mall in Marikina City, but 4 others were able to escape. Now, even if I don't win this election, I am still a winner because I already had them arrested, Duringan said. Do not be convinced that these people can tamper with the results of our automated elections. They are just scammers who want to leech money off politicians, regardless of their political parties, Garcia warned. According to the poll chief, they are also monitoring 2 women claiming to be consultants of the COMELEC and going around midnight to lure local politicians with the same scam. In Metro Manila, Garcia said there is another group of 5 people looking for candidates to victimize, including a former COMELEC employee who worked under the Commission's election contest and at jurisdiction department 17 years ago. There are also groups who claim to have access to official ballots and the ability to secretly put invisible ink on them so they would be rejected by the machine as part of a scheme to favor a paying candidate. Garcia doubted whether such a modus operandi was possible given the high level of security at the National Printing Office and the presence of observers who can countercheck the ballots produced. The Commonwealth has decided to do away with the vote counting machines provided by Smartmatic that have been in use since 2010, replacing them with new machines from South Korea's Mirror Systems called LTT. The shift aims to improve the efficiency and accuracy of vote counting, but critics remain concerned about the readiness of the new machines and the challenges that may arise on election day itself. Now, for the business, investors brought the local brokers above 6,100 on Thursday as they continue buying cheap stocks. By the end of the session, the benchmark Philippine Stock Exchange Index jumped by 1.14% or 69.06 points to 6,113.19. Likewise, the broader all shares index added 0.79% or 28.54 points to close at 3,647.73. A total of 772.25 million shares worth 5.06 billion pesos changed hands, stock exchange data showed. Foreigners remain net sellers with foreign outflows totaling 336.50 million pesos. Jahed Tangtiangco, research head at Philstocks Financial Inc., said investors continue bargain hunting on Thursday while also hoping for a positive catalyst from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas policy meeting, the results of which were announced after the stock market close. In the surprise move, the central bank opted to keep its key rate unchanged at 5.75%, saying that domestic growth expectations were firm. Investors snapped up shares of mining and oil firms the most, as well as services-related companies. Homegrown fast food giant Jollibee Foods Corp was the most actively traded stock as it surged by 10.02% to 262.40 pesos, following news that it had removed its 40% foreign ownership limit. It was followed by International Container Terminal Services Inc., which rallied by 4.41% to 355 pesos. Bank of the Philippine Island down 1.37% to 129.20 pesos. BDO Unibank Inc. up 0.65% to 139.90 pesos. And DigiPlus Interactive Corp up 9.70% to 35.70 pesos each. Metropolitan Bank and Trustco was up by 1.47% to 72.25 pesos. SM Prime Holdings Inc. up 0.21% to 23.45 pesos. Allianz Inc. down 0.21% to 24.15 pesos. Synergy Grid and Development Fields Inc. up 1.87% to 12 pesos. And SM Investments Corp. up 1.29% to 825 pesos per share. Gainers edge out losers 110 to 86, while 49 companies closed unchanged, stock exchange data also showed. And now for the international news, Donald Trump unveiled an extraordinary vision of Shake Up to the World Order Thursday, eyeing a three-way summit with the Russian and Chinese leaders just a day after saying he had agreed with Vladimir Putin to start Ukraine peace talks. With Kyiv and European capitals still stunned by Trump's surprise call with Putin, the US president also said he would love to have Russia back in the G7, for which it was suspended in 2014 after Moscow annexed Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula. Trump told reporters in the Oval Office referring to Putin, "I think it was a mistake to drum him out." Trump, who has cast himself in his second term as a global peacemaker, also said he will consider a summit with Putin and China's Xi Jinping when things calm down. "When we straighten it all out, then I want one of the first meetings I have with President Xi of China, President Putin of Russia. And I want to say, let's cut our military budget in half." And in the related news, Latin America has emerged as a key battleground in US President Donald Trump's confrontation with China, and the region is coming under pressure from Washington to choose a side. The Trump administration's approach to China's growing Latin American footprint, seen as a national security and economic threat, has so far been more stick than carrot. Trump has repeatedly tried to take back the US-built Panama Canal if Panama doesn't reduce Chinese influence in its strategic waterway, which handles 40% of US container traffic. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 12:30 p.m. and that is it for koolNews at noon. We will return with one news headlines later with koolNews at 6 and koolNews prime time at 11:30 p.m. if available. You can also send us your comments, suggestions, and feedback to our email at tvhthephilippines.news@gmail.com. I am Cairo, and this has been koolNews at noon. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we will see you later at 6. Good afternoon.